with
Good morning, Pastor.
good morning, Louise. A couple years older than the last time I talked with you.
Yes, yes, I know. I didn't get to talk with you on Sunday.
Yes, was watching from afar.
Aha. I assume that. I assume that.
I
Yeah.
saw all the entire festive event.
Well, I did not expect my Christian sisters to stand up and bless me and say something special about what they felt about me. I was at the end of the period of time, I became numb.
Well, what I found to be interesting is that for my birthday they didn't do anything like this. Number one. Number two, Saladin was also supposed to speak, but because of some family issues, he couldn't be here on Sunday. He had to be with the
Uh-huh.
family. But he was scheduled to pay a tribute to you. Hopefully, he'll do that to you in person. But
Yes, I actually spoke with his wife, so I knew where he was.
right,
I knew that there was a problem in his family. And
it just
you
never
have
happened.
to deal with your family when it's time.
Yeah, it's just so much happening around so many different families.
Exactly, exactly. Yes, I know that. So, it's nice to hear your voice and know that you're on my broadcast as a co-host live.
Well, you need star power for your broadcast, So, and you do know what everybody around the country is talking about, right?
I do, and I was very surprised because you might be surprised about this, but I was watching it.
Oh, no, I'm
I
not
actually
surprised.
saw it.
No, I'm not surprised at all. I would assume you probably were watching something like that. That was, but we need to make sure we're talking about the same thing, right?
I was talking about Oscars.
Oh, okay, good.
I was watching Oscars after 13 people in my family went home.
So, were they at was your family at your house
Yes,
by the
they
time you got home from church?
when I got home from church, two were here, and then two more came, and then four more came. And it was ended up being 13. It was wonderful. They brought food, they brought drink, they brought pastry, they brought bouquets of flowers. It was wonderful
Well, how did they get into your house if you were at church? How did they?
because they have keys.
Oh, okay. So when you
I have
arrived home, they were actually inside.
Yeah, I have given keys to members of my family so that they can always just come right in.
So that your family understood that Mama had to be in church on Sunday, no matter what, right?
Yes, yes. They were told that I planned to go to church,
That's so
and
funny.
I did not expect what happened at church, but I always go to church, so I was committed to that time.
Now, why would you not think that your church family uh, would not celebrate your birthday?
Well, because it's an odd number. It's an 89. I was kind of anticipating 90,
Mm-hmm.
a celebration at 90. But I don't know if between now and then, if God will not call me to Him.
Well, my thinking is that you want to celebrate, work with somebody, and celebrate their lives when they can really appreciate it, when they're really focused. And I think over 85 is a time to celebrate every year, celebrate every birthday, I think.
Uh-huh.
My opinion.
Uh-huh.
You agree?
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. And and when people were singing happy birthday to me, I was I became speechless because I have done that 100 times to other people, but
Right.
I have not received it before. It was incredible.
Well, it was an incredible service, and people really enjoyed themselves. Now, what I could not see was people running into Buttery Hall to get some of those cupcakes that they had available, and nobody saved any for me. By the way, Louise,
Oh,
I would have expected Eric to have said, "Pastor, I have some cupcakes for you." I would have expected him to drive by my house and drop them off.
well, you might have also expected Sister Edna because she was the one that brought them, I think.
Oh, were they Italian? Were they
Yes,
Italian?
she brought Italian pastry. There was Italian. I mean, it was just amazing. It was, and she also brought instant coffee and tea.
Instant coffee and well, you know what? It's been a long time since we have been in Buttery Hall with food and fellowship.
Exactly. Yes, that part is very true. It has been a long time for that.
And I'm hoping that people really, really got a glimpse of what it could be like for us to be able to be back inside of Buttery Hall, because I, for one, I really miss the fellowship dinners.
Well, I cannot tell you the number of people that came to me where I was sitting and took my picture.
They took your picture?
Yes, they took my picture in Buttery Hall.
So why would they want to do something like that?
I don't know. They all came over and took my picture. And there were a number of people who participated in the activity by doing that at least.
Interesting.
It was amazing. Oh, the other thing I wanted to ask you, Pastor, is are we on Zoom?
No, you're not on Zoom. You're on just the regular
I'm on
internet.
the regular
internet.
Facebook.
You're on Facebook and YouTube and all of that, yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you will have to send me something.
Right, I'd have to send you a link to be on Zoom.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, because I found the link to Sunday's service.
The YouTube link?
Yes,
Okay.
Pastor Bruce Wall.
Okay. And so you got a chance to watch yourself on YouTube? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, well I haven't watched the whole thing. I just saw
you just skipped to your part when you were speaking to the congregation. You said, "I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this," and then you just got to your part and said, "Oh, this is what I want to watch myself talk to the congregation."
No, what I'm talking about was there's a picture that Eric took. I think it's Eric took of me in front of the green screen.
Right.
A long time ago,
right.
And it's used when I'm not physically in the studio.
So, are you looking at the internet right now?
So I'm looking at that.
Okay.
And it says mental health in your neighborhood with host Louise Carcione.
Oh. Well, keep watching it because you're going to see something else there in just a few moments.
Okay.
So, how did you like the happy birthday tribute that I shared with you?
Well, that was another thing that I was taken aback about because it was beautiful. I appreciated it. It was lovely. Thank you so much, Pastor.
Now, I actually had to do research to figure out how to write happy birthday in Italian, so I did that. And I got one of your favorite Italian songs. I had two, but I couldn't play them both. One was going to be "Oh Sole Mia." I was going to play that one and sing it, but then I said no, and so I just played another
here
one.
you are. You just appeared on my screen.
Did I appear?
Yes.
Well, I know it appears to be selfish that you can see me live and we can't see you live. I know that looks selfish, but unless...
No, it's not at all selfish. It's perfectly fine.
Okay.
I can deal with that.
All right. If we were using Zoom, then people would be able to see you in your house. But I don't know if I would want people to see you in your house because they'll figure out where you live, want to come by and pay a tribute to you. You know, it's just too much. So when you came home and you saw your family, did they say, Grandma, Nani, why did you have to go to church this morning? We're all here waiting for you.
No, they didn't say that at all because, unfortunately, they don't go to church where they live.
Oh.
And so it took them time to prepare the food or to purchase what they were bringing to where I live.
Right.
So it was more convenient for them to be able to come after 1 o'clock.
Right. Oh, so that worked out for them.
Yeah, it worked out fine. And Glenette and Corrine and Jenny Allen helped put things in my car.
I see.
They came out to the sidewalk where my car was at the church, and they helped to load the car up with things I could bring home.
And the other thing is the video that Glenette did in your honor was very nice.
Yes.
To have something like that, I think that was very, very important.
Yes, she interviewed me during the week.
She did. Right. That's how she got all that information.
Yes. She's a sweet, wonderful Christian woman.
Right. She did an excellent job. I was very proud of the fact that she took the time to interview you and put that together. So the reason why we had that put together for you is because once I saw that she can do that, now I can go to her and ask her to put one together for me. And she can't say no and say she can't do it. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, she could do a wonderful job of you.
Right. I want to have one done but I don't want just one, Louise. I want one for my birthday, one for my church anniversary, one for the anniversary of the church, and just one just to have a fourth one done. So I got to have 4 videos about myself.
Wow.
To your one. So let's go. Since this is mental health in your neighborhood. Yesterday I did a short piece on Chris Rock and Will Smith.
Oh, you did?
Yes. And today, see, if you were watching my broadcast every day, like I watch yours every Wednesday, you would have known what I did. And then the other thing is that Pastor Walker today, he did Chris Rock and he did Will Smith. And he had packed phone lines for the entire broadcast because people want to talk about it. They want to talk about what they saw.
It is amazing because I saw Will Smith get up out of his seat, walk up on the stage, and walk over to Chris Rock and just smack him.
Right.
And walk back again and sit down.
Right.
And then he went up again to receive an award.
Right.
For something he had done earlier, movie.
Right.
And then when he apologized, he didn't include Chris.
Right. I didn't understand that.
For a while. And you know Chris is coming to Boston tonight.
Well, he's already here, number one.
Do you know about the price of the tickets?
Yes, they're as high as $1,300.
They started out costing $45.
Yeah.
And when this event occurred,
right,
and there was so much conversation about it around the country and probably beyond the
All over the
borders
world.
of the country,
All over the world, Louise.
the prices went up, and then the seats were all sold.
Isn't that amazing?
In the city of Boston, in Wilbur Theater, which I have been in.
Right. I've been there numerous times. But yeah, it's the seats are full. Now, one of our broadcasters, Kevin Peterson, was on the news last night,
Mm-hmm.
and he is going to either be there tonight, or he and a group of pastors are going to ask that Chris Rock and Will Smith have a meeting to reconcile whatever differences they have. So that was on television. That was on Channel 5.
Yeah,
today.
I saw Pastor Dickerson.
Was he with him too? He was.
Yes, he not with them. He was by himself,
And what did he say?
and he said that it was very serious for him to go in and talk about Chris Rock.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see if Chris Rock responds to any of the clergy in Boston,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know where he lives. I'm assuming Will Smith lives in Hollywood, lives in California,
Yeah, I'm not
And-
sure.
and something like that could better be handled if they're both out in the same
Yeah,
place where they live.
yeah, it's amazing. I mean, the medical problem that his wife is having
Yeah.
certainly deserves attention,
Yeah.
but did not deserve that type of attention.
So you thought that the joke about her hair, lack of hair, was in poor taste? You don't see it as, for a comedian, an audience is fair game, no matter who you are, no matter what your circumstance.
I know, but if he didn't know, if Chris Rock did not know that she had a medical condition,
Yeah.
then he really had no basis for saying anything about her.
Well, that I don't know. I don't know. Eric, Eric is here in the studio, by the way, Louise.
Yes, I do.
And
I
he's
do.
listening to the broadcast. He has his headsets on.
My brother Eric is there,
Yeah,
yes.
he's there. And you can't see him because he can't. I'm not going to put him on the camera because he doesn't deserve to be with the likes of you and I. But anyway, he's actually doing research. He's working on a project, but he just did some research.
I believe that.
Yeah, and he he can research now because he's not. You cannot research and engineer at the same time. But anyway, that's not true. I have a case in point. But anyway, Eric did some research and he found out that who was it that lives in New Jersey, Eric?
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock lives in New Jersey, not in California.
Uh-huh.
So I guess whatever the clergy can do to bring these two together, they can always bring them together on Zoom. But it would be interesting to see if Kevin Peterson and the other clergy are able to pull them together.
Yes, it would be interesting to see if there could be a
Will Smith has property in
some
California,
kind of
Pennsylvania, and Hawaii.
adjustment to the attitude to each other
Right, and
on the stage at Oscars.
wouldn't it be something if Will Smith showed up in Boston and was in the crowd, in the audience, and had a moment with Chris where they embraced and forgave each other? Wouldn't that be something?
That would be amazing. That would be amazing because it would boost the interest of people wanting to be in the building.
The other thing is, Renee told me that the Oscar committee made a decision that Will Smith cannot receive an Oscar in 2023. Right, we're in 2022 now. So in 2023, because he's going to be making 3 separate movies, so that he's not eligible for an Oscar. I got to look that up. So that's what their punitive. That's the cost that he's going to have to pay
Right.
for what happened. I'm glad the police are not involved in this
Right.
because
Right.
it would turn another way.
Yeah, they were not called.
Right. So the theater didn't. It's my understanding the theater didn't call the police, and Chris Rock, as of this moment, has decided not to press charges. And I think if Chris Rock doesn't press charges and takes the upper road now, and um, basically say that if he turns the other cheek and basically say hit me on my other one, that he's going to be looked at, even though he told the joke, he's going to be looked at as the person that is acting even more responsibly than Will, because I think Will apologized to everybody except for Chris on that first night.
That's right.
It took him a day to apologize to Chris Rock, but I think it's going to do more than just apologize. It's going to be more than just the words. There needs to be a discussion, because again, they were just words, and I'm sure he was being advised to make that, to take that stand.
Well, his mother made a comment, and she was absolutely stunned about what he had done.
Right. She said she's never seen him like that before.
Right.
So.
And of course, I mean, his part of his story had to do with when he was a 9-year-old child and saw his father beat his mother.
Oh, is that right?
Yes. And that is critically important, because that's what kind of gave him the incentive to go forward. It was because his father punched and choked his mother, brought blood to her, and he was 9 years old and he could do nothing about it.
Interesting. Well, I'm sure a lot more is going to be coming up about this. This is a story that is going to have a life after all of this is
right.
done.
It's going to bring forth some interest in mental health as well.
Right. I'm sure for a lot of women who want to be defended by their husbands, this is going to cause them to think that, would my husband defend me like this? For not just women, but for men who have defended their wives, or men who have not defended their wives. It's going to bring up a lot. And I believe there's a lot of conversation going on in the black community. And I think that today's broadcast with Pastor Walker showed the need of a program like ours, or a station like ours, where people can call in and express their heartfelt how they feel about a situation. And
well, I think that it's important in Boston for people to call into the broadcast, because at this point I don't know of too many people in our church body who could afford a ticket at the Wilbur Theater tonight. Do you?
I thought that you were going to send me to represent Boston. I thought you were going to say, Pastor, if you would like to go to the Wilbur Theater to represent Boston Praise Radio and TV and mental health in your neighborhood, I will pay for your ticket and send you, because
that would be interesting. Maybe
only
I could raise some money.
It's only $1,300. I mean, what's that? What's $1,300 to an 89-year-old? Nothing. That's nothing for you.
Oh, it's more than you can imagine. But I can certainly consider tapping the other members of our church.
No, we'll just take it out of the deacon's fund, or we'll take it out of the parsonage fund, or we'll just take it out of Pastor Wall's salary. That's what we'll do.
Well, I wouldn't want to take it out of anyone's salary, but certainly if you want a ticket, we can certainly make an arrangement for you.
Yeah, well, Will Smith is banned from the 2023 Oscar nominations. he's not going to be eligible at all. And it was a sad thing to see that happen, and then he receives an honor that if he had not done that, to receive that honor would have just that honor would have put him in a whole new category. But now what happened, it soils what he achieved, in my opinion.
I know, because people are not going to pay attention to his award. They're paying more attention to this activity.
Right. And the other thing, Louise, is that slap was seen in real time, and it's been seen from many different angles.
Right.
Because when they show it on TV, they show this angle, that angle, that angle, because they had all those cameras.
Right.
And the internet, that's gonna live on for the rest of his life. That's gonna be a part of his profile on the internet, and that's not good. Mm-hmm. His son made a comment that, that's how we go, Dad. You know what I mean? The son was right there with his dad, basically saying that's what his father should have done. I don't know how he's able to go back and talk to his son and say, look, I was wrong in handling it that way.
Right.
And then I heard somebody else make a comment. They said one of the concerns that they had is that I was reading another notice that's coming in. You're going to have people thinking that they can stand up and slap any comedian. You're going to have people thinking that they can slap a news person, and if they disagree with what somebody is saying, let's go to wherever they're at and let's take action. That's what some people are saying is a end result. One of the unintended consequences of what happened is that people are going to feel that they can do this with anybody.
Well, another comment that was made was black on black.
Yeah, that's one of the sad ones, because that was a predominantly white crowd.
Right.
And so the perception there is that with it being a predominantly white crowd, that there they go again. Mm-hmm. And had Chris Rock reacted, because sometimes your reaction, you don't think, you just react to defend yourself. And if he had slapped Will back or punched him back or kicked him back or jumped on him back, it would have been terrible to see two black men.
Oh, that would have been awful.
Fighting at the Oscars and having to be pulled away from each other. That would have been terrible.
I know, because in that case, the police would have been called.
Right. And quite frankly, I'm assuming they had security guards there.
Yes.
And the question is, did the security guards have arrest powers? Could they have pulled them apart and basically said, Will Smith, you're under arrest, we're going to detain you? I don't know what their powers were, but I'm sure they had security people there that night.
I know. I think they could have passed them off to the police.
Right. Now, one of the questions that I had, and being a former court clerk, my concern is, could the police have made the arrest because they saw it? It was on TV. Why do they have to wait for Chris Rock to file a complaint?
Well, there is some process that can take place, and it apparently did not take place.
Because if the police saw it and made the arrest, now they have to subpoena Chris Rock and get him to testify. Because if he doesn't testify, the question is, do they really have a case?
Right.
So there's just so many different.
There's a lot of controversy involved with this because of it being at the Oscars, and being in front of millions of people, not hundreds of people, but millions of people.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Well, the other thing is certain people have been saying that the Oscars were very boring, and this brought it up a notch. Number one. Number two, they were saying that not only were the Oscars boring, but they're so antiquated that with a lot of the movies being streamed versus going to theaters, that they're going to have to do something to change how they are honoring these actors and how they make decisions about their movies, because I'm assuming they used to make comments like this is a box office attraction, but if the movies are being streamed now, it's not how much money they're making at the movie theater. It's how many people is the priority. Is the new category going to be how many people are watching it through streaming? Everything has to change regarding how the Oscars do what they do, and it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to have a live audience or pre-tape it.
Well, particularly since the Oscars did not occur for a couple of years.
Right.
You know, this was kind of a return. It was a return for them, but it was dull and quiet until that occurred.
Yeah.
But I still say that here in Boston, a lot is going to have to be developed at the Wilbur Theater. And if you really want to go, Pastor, we can work something out.
Well, I think that the longer we wait for me to make a decision about going, the higher the prices are going to be. So,
well, it's tonight. So
right. What I'm saying is that
yeah.
the highest ticket is $1,300 now. So if I wait until 12 o'clock today or maybe 5 o'clock to make my decision, I think the price will probably be up to $4,000. And let's see if the church is willing to spend $4,000 to send a pastor to see Chris Rock.
No, I think
I'll wait until 5 o'clock.
I think we should have you make a call as soon as the broadcast is over.
No, here's. I really don't want to go see the comedy, but I'm only playing. But I could have gone as a media person and gotten in. If I want to go with a microphone and a recorder, I could have gotten right in with no problem.
Well, particularly since there's another pastoral group planning to attend.
Right. I don't know if they're going to attend or if they just made it known that they want to be available. I don't know the circumstances. I'll speak to one of the organizers who called me yesterday, by the way.
Right.
And I wasn't able to return the call, but I'll try to get a return call to the person today.
So you don't want me to start soliciting
the people in the church
from our church family?
No, you don't have to. I really don't. I really don't want to go. As a matter of fact, with the new leakage in the roof, I think we'll save our money to repair that new leakage. You know, I came into the church last week, maybe on a Friday, and I saw that parts of the ceiling had flaked off, and it was on the pulpit, on the stairs, and in the pews. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I did not know that there was leakage over the pulpit.
Right.
I did not know that at all.
Right. And so I sent the communication out to some of the members of the church, and they came in on Saturday and they cleaned it up and put everything back in order. But I think what's happening is there might be a leak starting on the roof. And so what I'm going to do is send a text to the architect that's working on our building with the city, asking how soon can we start the work on the roof because of what's happening now, because it's going to become progressively more aggravated, and
we need to repair the roof in God's house. That's it.
Oh, so you would rather repair the roof than to send me to see Chris Rock? What are you saying?
You already said you weren't going to go to the comedy show.
Well, can I also say, again, mental health in your neighborhood, it's hard for me to watch that continual, they keep running it on TV, the slap.
Right.
It's like when I see him walking toward Chris Rock, I say to myself, I'm not going to watch this again. I'm going to turn this off because it's bothering me to see that. It's bothering me to see Will Smith in that kind of category, doing something like that.
I know.
It bothers me to watch Chris Rock turn his face, receive the slap, and then come back and finish what he was supposed to do and standing up there, because I think he was making a presentation that I'm assuming he was supposed to sit down. Not for the whole night, though. He was the host for that particular category, but not for the whole night. That would have been difficult if it was for the whole night, but for that category, and then I don't know if he went and sat down or walked out of the theater. I don't know what he did, but I just said to myself, this is difficult to watch, and I don't want to keep watching this. And so for people who have been slapped, people who have been abused by a spouse, children who have been abused by their parents, all of that, I'm sure, was very difficult for them to watch.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's certainly no enjoyment in any of that.
No, there isn't any enjoyment, but Eric wants to make a comment. He's trying to talk to me, but I can't understand what he's saying because I have my headphones on, and so he's going to have to get on the microphone and make his research comments. And he wasn't here Sunday, so I think there's something he wants to say to you also. Let me see if I can find the microphone. That's 2, that's 3. There it is. Okay, here he is. He's going to put his headphones on. Of course, he's going to clean them afterwards. But here we go. He's going to talk in the mic.
Go for it, Brother Eric.
Good morning, Sister Louise.
I can't hear him.
Yeah, you're not.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you, and thank you for the birthday card you left in the bag for me.
You're very welcome. So, you were talking about...
You got to get closer.
You were talking about how...
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Try to
Can't hear him.
How about now?
No.
I can hear. I can actually hear him.
Can you hear me now?
No, you can't hear him.
It's getting a little better, but it's not
Why don't
quite.
we try the other mic to the other side? That's number 4.
Yes, I think his voice is important.
Well, he's probably not feeling well today, so it's hard for him to project.
Oh no.
Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Hello? Yeah.
Yes, there's your voice.
Okay. So I was saying that you Pastor Wall was talking about how people who were abused couldn't take that, and I was one of those people. But I think we've been throughout the ages, we've been desensitized.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it probably bothered a lot of us as much as it would have if the society and the culture didn't desensitize us so much.
Well, I have seen a tremendous amount of that kind of activity over the years that I've worked in the Department of Mental Health. So it's not, something that I would say I can't watch it again, because I have been watching it for years.
Go ahead, finish.
It's sad. It's sad, but it's part of what I would have to watch and record in some way to be reported as part of my work.
And I think, again, I've watched this in the trial court for 20-something years, and I've seen this on TV, which could help desensitize you to all this stuff. But when I thought that it was a joke, when I thought that they were just playing, that this had been set up, it was one thing to watch it. When I determined that it was a real slap, and Chris Rock's face turned and then came back, there was trauma. I saw trauma. I experienced the trauma, and I put myself in the place of Chris Rock, and so it became very difficult because again they keep showing it over and over and over
yes,
again.
And it's going to be continued for days and days.
I think also the fact that, and I've been watching comments on Facebook and social media, and a lot of people are saying that Will Smith laughed. He didn't really think it was that bad. It was just the fact that when Jada looked at him when he was laughing, like as if to say, "What the beep are you laughing at?" That's when he got up and did what he did. Mm-hmm. But if you watch the video, Will Smith was having a mouth open laugh about it. You know?
Right.
Yes, I saw it. Yes.
It's true. By the way, Terrence Graham, who is on Facebook, is saying happy birthday, Louise.
Oh, thank you, Terrence. Thank you so much.
And Terrence is with us every Friday night at our prayer meeting, so it's great to have him with us today. Yes, but we don't know all the circumstances in their marriage, in their relationship. And when he was laughing, I'm sure he was laughing as a comedian. Some people were saying, which I don't think is true, some people were saying that Will Smith was laughing because of the previous jokes. Mm-hmm. But I think that he was laughing because he heard it. He wasn't looking at his wife. Then when he saw the expression on his face, it was probably him needing to go to her defense that night. Mm-hmm. But we don't know the dynamics between them, what's going on with them anyway.
Right.
Whether they're trying to reconcile their relationship or whatever's going on. And I said this, and somebody else told me that they didn't think that was true. So, but I'll say it again. I don't know how long it took to film the movie that he just received the Oscar for.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But he made comments that the Serena and Serena's dad was a fierce defender of his children. Mm-hmm. And the implication, he didn't say this, but the implication was that this is what the dad would have done. The dad would have defended his two daughters, his children. And someone said, I don't think that. I felt that Will Smith was in the mindset of coming out of that movie, being celebrated for it. And that night, I'm sure he was dealing with whether or not he was going to win the Oscar. He did go up and say that the man that he depicted in the movie was a fierce defender of his children. The implication there was that just like he defended his children, I'm going to defend my wife. So I think there were a lot of things going on in his head.
Right. He was making a point related to the award he just received.
I think so.
Yes.
But again, we won't know until Will Smith stops the apology tour and starts opening up and talking.
Yeah, I think that there could potentially be a publication developed about this incident.
A publication or a movie?
Well, could be either. Well, it could be something serious because it's going to grow.
Yeah,
I think it's going to grow.
there seems to be a lot of interest in what happened that night. But in order to put what happened that night in perspective, you have to know what was going on in Chris Rock's head
Right.
and also in the head of Will Smith and Jada.
I think Oprah should get involved.
Oh yeah.
I think she can pull them two together.
She was the one that said that this was an inappropriate activity. Yes.
Oh, I didn't hear her comment. That's what.
Yes, she made the comment. Yeah.
Wow.
Because she was at the.
Oh, she was there?
She was there at the Oscars. Yeah.
Well.
And then she made another comment on her broadcast today.
What was her comment? I didn't know you watched Oprah.
That it was inappropriate.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes, I know. I do watch Oprah.
Oh, I thought you watched me. I thought I was your. I thought I was the star in your life.
I watched you many times.
Oh, okay.
Many times.
Okay. And when you compare me to Oprah, when you watch Oprah and you go, oh, that was okay.
I cannot possibly compare you to her.
Eric's shaking his head, and the way his eyes are looking right now, it's like I could not possibly compare you to Oprah because there is no comparison.
There is.
That's what his. I know you're not saying that, Louise, but that's the look that's on his face.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yes. You are number one. You're my special friend, and number two, you're my pastor.
Okay.
And you're co-host on my broadcast.
Right. More often than Eric. So anyway, one of the stories that just came out said the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Science told members its leaders are upset and outraged by Will Smith's behavior during the Oscars. In a letter obtained by CNN hours before a key meeting on Smith's future, the letter from the Academy president, David Rubin, and CEO Don Hudson says the group is working on a determination on appropriate action for Smith, which could take a few weeks. Oh, so they haven't decided. I thought that they actually...
No. It hasn't been completed as far as they're concerned.
Smith has come under fire for storming on the stage during the Sunday's night's Academy Award and slapping presenter Chris Ross after he made a joke about Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. The letter says the process will be conducted in a manner that is both expedient and respectful of all involved while maintaining the standards of the Academy. As previously reported by CNN, the Academy Board of Governors holding their annual post-Oscars meeting Wednesday, with Smith slap being their main priority, according to the source close to the process. The meeting is expected to take place during the evening hours. So again, some of what we've heard is not the final decision.
No, they're expecting that it might take them 2 weeks to complete the meetings and the decision.
Wow. That's too bad. That's too bad. Well,
but that's why I think that everything that you and I are doing now and what has been done with your broadcast earlier and what has been done with other broadcasts is going to continue.
Right. One of the things that a reporter said, he talked about Will Smith, and he said he could have bided his time, aware he might be about to reach a pinnacle of his acting career by winning the Best Actors award for the role in King Richard, and that he could soon have the biggest platform in the world to say whatever he wanted to say. And then he could have graciously accepted his award and included just one pointed take like Richard Williams was all about his family and I'm about mine. My wife is beautiful and anybody trying to mock her, even in a so-called joke, is beneath contempt. So they were saying, had he not done what he did, he would have walked into an open door that could have given him a platform that he's never had before.
Right.
And now, in my opinion, The rug has been pulled from under him because one of the biggest issues that black people need from their leaders is a leader that will speak into the violence in our communities. And I don't know how he can be that type of person at this point or ever again.
I know, I know, and he's going to have to. I'm sure that he's thinking about his activity.
Well, on CNN, they posted his apology. It says Will Smith has issued an apology for striking presenter Chris Rock at Sunday's Academy Awards. In a post on Instagram on Monday afternoon, Smith called his behavior unacceptable and inexcusable. Jokes at my expense are part of the job, but jokes about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally, he wrote. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I am embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. There is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness. Smith added in the post that violence in all forms is poisonous and destructive.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that's
think
that's a nice piece of presentation. However, I do think that he's still going to be thinking about what he's done when he hears how this story is growing around him.
right. It is. It is growing around him, and I don't know. I don't know where this is going to end. I think if I think if it was him, the legal route hopefully is not going to be one that Chris Rock is going to walk down. He could sue Will Smith for millions of dollars if he wanted to, and
Yes.
that or Will Smith can offer him financial compensation. Not that Chris Rock needs it, you know.
I also like the fact that during when that happened before Will Smith went to accept his award, that Denzel Washington and Tyler Perry spoke with him.
Well, that's
Well, this is the black on black part of the event.
right. When I was
There are blacks trying to support him and hold on to him so he doesn't do something else.
well, I think that what happened when I first saw the slap, when I thought that that was something that they had set up, it wasn't until they reported that Denzel Washington and Tyler Perry were talking with him that I realized that it was real. And then my mind just couldn't go any further with it. It just stopped. It stopped. I did not think about what are the implications, none of that. I just stopped thinking. And then my mind, maybe after an hour or so, began to process what happened, and I began to think of the impact on Will Smith's future and career, and the impact on his family. But hey, we're gonna watch this. We have about a minute, so I'm gonna turn it back over to you.
Okay, well, I want to thank you for being part of the broadcast today, for maintaining the topic, because that certainly is an activity that is being developed around the world, I think, and it's going to become even more of an activity when the Oscar representatives complete their work.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be done.
Yeah.
And what will happen in Boston is going to be something else. So we'll wait and see what happens. Thank you all for all of your gifts and presentations for my birthday. I will see you next week. Bye.
Okay. Bye, Louise.
suicide and agnostic. Victory ain't for the Lord, but the opposite.